Science revision for classes 5, 6, 7 and 8 from Beyond Education channel. Seize the trend. Have you subscribed to this channel? Check out now, press the subscribe button and you can also like, it won't break a bone to make a comment too, that way we will know how to improve our services. Well, there are many kinds of animals. Animals have certain characteristics or features. Animals with common characteristics can be grouped together. The process of grouping animals with common characteristics together is called the classification of animals. When we observe our environment, we find that animals can be found on trees, on the ground, in the sky, in the water, on the land, in a dam, on a lake, even in our houses. Classification of animals. Animals can be divided into two main groups: 1. Those with a backbone and 2. Those without a backbone. Animals with a backbone running from the head to the tail are called vertebrates. Examples of vertebrates are human beings, cows, rabbits, dogs, camel, chicken, fish, snakes, frogs and sheep. Animals without a backbone are called invertebrates. Examples of invertebrates are bees, flies, fleas, earthworms, snails, centipedes, millipedes, butterflies, praying Mathis, grasshoppers and spiders. Classification of vertebrates. Vertebrates can also be grouped into 5 groups. Namely, 1. Mammals. 2. Reptiles. 3. Birds. 4. Fish. 5. Amphibians. 1. Mammals. The livestock we find at home, for example cattle, are mammals. Examples of other mammals are zebra, whale, duck-billed platypus, dog, pigs, elephants and others are mammals. In other words, the characteristics of mammals are: they have mammary glands. The mammary glands of female mammals produce milk. The young mammals feed on mother's milk. They are warm-blooded. This is to say that their body temperature remains same whether the weather is cold or warm. It does not change with the surrounding. Most mammals give birth to young ones. 2 mammals that lay eggs are the duck-billed platypus and the spiny anteater. Mammals have hairy bodies. Some have fur covering their bodies. Most mammals live on dry land. Mammals that live in water are whale and dolphins. Most mammals walk on their limbs, legs. A mammal that flies is a bat. Mammals feed on either vegetable or flesh, a few feed on both. Mammals that feed on flesh only are referred to as carnivores, for example, lions, leopards and hyena. Mammals that feed on vegetation only are referred to as herbivores, for instance goat, sheep, cow and zebra. Mammals that feed on both the flesh and the vegetation are referred to as omnivores, for instance human beings and pigs. Two. Birds. Characteristics of birds. A. Birds' bodies are covered with feathers. B. Birds have beaks instead of teeth. C. Birds have claws on their feet. D. Most birds fly, they have wings. An ostrich is a bird that cannot fly, flightless. E. Birds lay eggs. To have young ones, birds incubate their eggs. They sit on and keep the eggs warm until they hatch. When the eggs hatch, the young birds come out. F. Birds are also warm-blooded, their body temperature is constant. Examples of birds include dove, duck, ostrich, hen. NB. A bat is a funny animal. Picture this, a bat is not a bird. Why is bat not a bird? Well, since the bat feeds their young ones with milk, birds don't do that, right? As well, they do not have feathers like birds do. 3. Reptiles. Characteristics of reptiles. A. Their bodies are covered with dry scales. B. They lay eggs. C. They are cold-blooded, this is to say their body temperature changes with the surrounding environment. When it is cold, their body temperature is low, they are cold. When it is hot, their body temperature rises. Examples of these include lizards, tortoises, snakes, crocodiles and chameleons. Four. Amphibians. Characteristics of amphibians. A. They live partly in water and partly on land. B. They have a moist skin without scales. C. They lay eggs. Their eggs hatch into young ones, which in the case of frogs and toads are called tadpoles. Tadpoles breathe using gills, but the grown ones breathe using moist skin and water and breathe with lungs when on dry land. D. They are cold-blooded. Examples of amphibians are frogs, toads and salamanders. Here's 5. Fish. Characteristics of a fish. A. Fish lay eggs. B. Fish breathe by means of gills. C. Fish have fins for movement in water. D. Fish have scales on their bodies. E. Fish are cold-blooded, their body temperature changes with their surrounding. Examples of fish are tilapia, Nile perch, trout, shark. NB. Whale is a funny animal. Imagine it is not a fish. Why is whale not a fish? Well, since the whale does not lay eggs, instead it gives birth to young ones, and the whale also have constant body temperature as well as it is mammary glands. Dolphins too are not fish. They share characteristics described for the whale. So, whales and dolphins are special mammals. Classification of invertebrates. Invertebrates can further be classified into 1. Insects, 2. Arachnids, 3. Crustaceans, 4. Myriapods, 5. Mollusks, 6. Worms. Now let's us look at each one of these groups of invertebrates. 1. Insects. Insects can be identified by the following features. A. All insects have 3 pairs of legs. This is to say they have 6 legs. Look at this insect closely. 3 pairs of legs on opposite, that is one on the right side and one on the left side. B. Another feature is that all insects have 3 main body parts, namely head, thorax and abdomen. C. Insects have a pair of antennae on top of their heads. The antennae are often called feelers because the insect waves them around. This is a wrong name because they are not only used for touch. The antennae are in reality the insect's nose. They are used for the sense of smell. D. Most insects have wings for flight. E. Insects have 2 pairs of wings. Now let us look at one big insect to see its features. What insect is this? It is a praying mantis. Is praying mantis's insect? Let us observe. Count the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 legs. How many body parts? 1, 2, 3. 3 body parts. Wings. Yes, 2 pairs, one dark colored on top and another light colored inside. It also has antennae. These are little feelers on the top of an insect's head. Insect antennae are a bit like radio aerials. They receive messages of sound and motion for the insect. These messages often help an insect know where it is crawling or flying. Feelers are the easiest way to tell moths from butterflies. Moth antennae are quite feathery looking. So the praying mantis is an insect. Are you afraid of this insect? Praying mantis is carnivorous and camouflaged. The praying mantis gets its name for the way their front legs are bent in a praying motion. The praying mantis is widely viewed as a beneficial insect as they eat many different types of other insects that may be harmful to humans. Other examples of insects include butterflies, grasshoppers, ants. Two. Arachnids. Arachnids have these features. A. Arachnids have 8 legs. B. Arachnids do not fly. C. Arachnids have two body parts. Let us observe this animal here. What is this? Is it an insect? No, it is not an insect. Let us find out why. First, this animal is called spider. It is an arachnid. Why? Let's us count the number of legs it has. Count the legs: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 legs. How many body parts? 1, 2. It has only 2 body parts. Wings. No wings. This is an arachnid. Other examples of arachnids include mites, scorpions, ticks. Three. Crustaceans. Crustaceans are animals with hard-jointed shells. A crustacean lives in fresh or salt water. Features of crustaceans. Most crustaceans crawl along the bottoms of streams, rivers, and the ocean, sometimes coming on land. Because they move along the ground under the water, they are called benthic creatures. Even though lobster and shrimp can swim a bit, they usually walk along the bottom of the body of water in which they live. Most crustaceans are mostly aquatic. Some have moved on to land permanently. Crustaceans that live on land include some crabs and woodlice. Crustacean range in size from a parasite. Have 5 pairs of legs, 10 legs. A hard exoskeleton made of calcium, no internal skeleton. An exoskeleton is a hard covering that supports and protects the bodies of some types of animals. The word exoskeleton means outside skeleton. Many invertebrates, or animals without backbones, have exoskeletons. The head has 2 compound eyes, 2 pairs of antennae, 3 pairs of mouth parts. Most breathe with gills. There are many kinds of crustaceans, for example crabs, crayfish, lobsters, and shrimps. Crab. A crab is an animal with a crusty shell. There are marine and land species of crabs. Lobster. A hard-shelled marine invertebrate with 10 jointed legs. Shrimps. Shrimp are small, bottom-dwelling crustaceans with a translucent exoskeleton. Crayfish. Freshwater crustaceans with 4 pairs of walking legs. 4. Myriapods. The myriapods are centipedes and millipedes, and a few small relatives. Centipedes and millipedes look similar to each other. They both look a little like worms with very many legs. What would it be if you had 20 legs? Myriapods have these features. A. Myriapods have many legs. B. Myriapods have a pair of feelers or antennae. C. Myriapods have simple eyes. D. Myriapods have 2 body sections, head and trunk. E. Centipedes are carnivorous, that is, they feed on flesh. While millipedes are herbivorous, that is, they feed on vegetation. They use mandibles, lower jaw, and maxillae, upper jaw, to feed. Look at the millipede here. It coils itself as a way of protecting itself. Five. Mollusks. Mollusks have the following characteristics. A. Mollusks are unsegmented and have soft bodies. B. Snails have shells while slugs do not. C. Mollusks have muscular foot and/or tentacles in some. Other examples of mollusks include the oyster, the squid, and the octopus. Six. Worms. Adult animals that have soft, elongated, often tube-like bodies and that lack backbones are commonly called worms. Worms are so different from one another that we do not classify them together in a single group. These characteristics therefore apply to most worms. A. Worms have long, soft bodies. B. Worms have moist skin, breath through their skin. C. Worms may live on soil like earthworms, who dig soil up, or worms may live water like leeches. D. Worms do not have legs. E. Worms do not have eyes. Now let us go to the farm belonging to Mr. Lamech and Miss Immaculate. Shall we find worms in this farm? Time will tell.